Hey guys, it's Hippokittie here today. We're going to be doing a game review. Yes, a full review. We're going to be doing our potato scale for ratings. Not going to be doing a let's play. We're not going to be doing anything like that. We're going to show some game footage. Don't get me wrong, but we're not going to sit there and play through the game with you. We're going to give you a couple snippets here and there and a little bit of story and information. There's going to be some spoilers, so if you don't want to get any of the game at all spoiled for you, click off the video right now. The game we're going to be reviewing today is from a band that I quite love. It's Radioactive Chicken Heads in Bad Bunny Breakout. Hit it! Now, the Radioactive Chicken Heads are this weird fusion band. It's got bits of ska, punk, reggae, even a little bit of country in some of their songs. And that translates very well over to the music of the game. Now, the characters in the game are the band themselves, as well as the enemies being, well, the boss enemies for the most part, being enemies from their own songs, their own stories. So it fits perfectly. Now, the game itself plays a lot like an old Final Fantasy game. It even has the 8-bit graphics, as you can see. And everything just looks great to me. I feel like this might be made in RPG Maker. Can't quite tell for sure. But the game itself plays very, very similar to Final Fantasy. At least the Mystic Quest games that I grew up with. But at the same time, it's got the random encounter system, just like the other Final Fantasy games. It does control very well. The power-ups are very nice. And it does stick with the theme, with the comical item. Instead of a phoenix down like in Final Fantasy, you have a kid. Which plays back to the song that you can hear throughout parts of the game of I Eat Kids, or We Eat Kids. It's I Eat Kids. Okay. Sorry. I know the song's lyrics more than I know the actual song name. Anyway, now with the game, what's going on is you and Sherry Tomato, which you are playing Carrot, have been knocked out by Bad Bunny as he escapes. Yeah, Bad Bunny is like this weird mecha bunny. It's pretty funny, actually. The good song, mind you, as well. Now, you have to go and gather your bandmates to take down Bad Bunny. Now, that would be really cool if you could play everyone at once, but you're limited to choosing 4 of the bandmates, each one having their own special abilities and their own special traits that are useful in battle. Now, you have to go through and find the bandmates in random places like graveyards, circuses. I think it's a circus. It might be considered a fair. I think it's a fair. Yeah, it's a fair. Now, on top of everything being just really well stylized and looking just like they're supposed to, you'll start noticing the boss enemies. Not only do they look like the characters from the music videos as well as the live shows, but they're also playing their theme songs when you're fighting them. For instance, when you're fighting Chuck E. Cheese, it's playing Pest Control. You know, it's really quite entertaining. Now, there are elements of the game that I wish would be a bit better. Like going between some of the levels, you have to drive in a van on the street. Now, that's not such a bad thing in itself, but when you're driving, there's nothing going on except for story element being talked to. This could have been easily achieved in like a cutscene instead of having to manually control it, but that's nitpicking, I guess. Now, I'm not going to ruin the end of the game for anybody, but it gets pretty crazy, and it gets to a certain point where even the base enemies are pretty tough, so you have to really make sure that you do keep your quote-unquote Phoenix Downs and potions ready for you. And it gets even harder from that. Now, my favorite boss in the entire game that I played was actually one of the band members that you wake up. And it's funny because you wake him up and he doesn't know who you are and you have to fight him. And then once you beat him, then he joins your team. It's pretty funny. Now, laced throughout, there are comedic elements that fit really well with the band themselves. It does, it does in many cases reference other references that they have. Like here, you actually hear where they do the Final Fantasy da 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 da. They mix things like that throughout, so there is throwback references to classics. On top of that, it does get a little bit crazy with their sound effects. Now, I'm not a big fan of making a full song 8-bit in most cases. A good example would be Carnage Rules. For the Super Nintendo, they had the song Carnage Rules from Green Jello that they actually compressed down into an 8-bit song. And it doesn't sound bad, but it misses parts of it that you really want to hear. And it actually makes it muddled up and sound a little bit like a Black Sabbath song, ironically. With the game, it's not bad. It's $6. You can buy it directly from their site. It does support them. They're not a big name band, so anything that they get does help them. It's nice. As for rating, I'm gonna give this one 4.5 potatoes out of 5. It's a very fun game. I can't see myself playing through it multiple times, mainly because it's pretty linear when it comes to the actual story and the gameplay, but it's definitely worth a play. $6, you can't beat that. Now, I'm going to be doing a little bit more of a review right now on this video about the band themselves. They're one of my favorite bands. I haven't got to see them live personally, but I have watched a lot of their live videos. And they seem like they'd be really comical. They're based out of California. They have a couple shows here and there coming up. I'm going to put a link down below to their band page, as well as where you can buy this game and things like that. I'm also going to link their Facebook so that you can follow them. Now, the band themselves, I do give a 5 out of 5. They have a very original sound that you can tell was inspired by things like Green Jello and Guar and things like that, as well as a few hit or miss things. Like I even sense like a little bit of the Mixies or the Aquabats in there. In one of their videos, they actually have a member of the Mixies show up in it, but I'm not sure if that was part of the music video itself or the movie the music video was for. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I haven't seen the movie. So I'm going to give them 5 out of 5. Check them out. Give them a listen. Buy a CD, whatever you want to do. Or you can just check them out here on YouTube. See if it's something that you like. If it's something you like, go support them. Help them out. Alright, well, this has been Hippokittie. Remember, always follow your dreams. Peace, peace.
Now listen closely. Here's a little lesson